Night number 2 of this incredible All-Star Challenge. One team will prevail, Team Fire versus Team Ice. Who's it going to be? We're going to find out next, only on Monster Jam. Here is Corey Rummel in Megalodon Fire, Cynthia Gauthier, Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice, and Megalodon Fire hitting the turn tire. He will be done, and it is Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice still with some problems, and she didn't get across. So just when you think Corey Rummel is done, he gets a second chance, but it is Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice that gets the faster time, 18.245.
It's all about quick reaction times here. You have to be quick off the line, you got to be quick in the chicane and quick in the J-hook corner. But here, team captains going up against each other again. Same thing as last night. They're carrying so much speed here, almost 70 miles an hour here at the All-Star Challenge. Tom Mintz clips the corner and rolls over, an unlikely mistake there, but let's note that all the drivers normally sit in the center. Tom Mintz, Neil Elliott, in their trucks, they sit on the left side, so it's tough for them to see the turn poles.
A nice turn for both drivers, and it looks like Eichelberger a little more inside on the turn, and he's going to take the advantage and the win for Max D and Team Fire.
I don't care how relaxed he is in the back. He better be on his A game, because Neil Elliott and Max D, he is a fast racer coming into the J-hook. Both of them are pretty even. Camden carrying a lot of momentum. Neil looks like he let off the gas a little bit to get around the turn pole, but hey, it is what it is. On to the next round. Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid.
And an empty orange lane. Brodozer can't make it to the starting line. So John Gordon in Bad Company, representing Team Ice, just has to take his time, feel out the track, and cross the finish line, and he will advance into round number 2.
This is such a big advantage for John because he gets a chance to feel the track out with no competitor in that lane.
Kristen Anderson getting a little wobbly coming down the chicane, and she's going to go upside down. And now Scooby-Doo with some issues. Lindsay Reed can't seem to get out of her own way, and it looks like she blew the motor.
No, Kristen has to finish. She has to cross the finish line.
So that's an all-hands-on-deck situation. Morgan, we saw your crew chief, Parker Hatcher, back there helping out as well.
Well, definitely with all hands on deck, you got to make sure that you get the guy back in it that called someone out, because anytime you do any big-time talking off the track, you got to be able to back it up on the track. So as a driver, I want to be as humble as I can, but Todd looks like he might be just cruising around right now. If I was a driver in this situation, I would be getting a good practice pass in to make sure that I'm comfortable for round 2.
And we all know Todd LeDuc has more confidence than most drivers in Monster Jam, but Morgan, if you were going to call somebody out, it's one thing to lose, but you got to at least make it to the starting line. We move on to round 2 of America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses Racing. If you're keeping tabs in round 1 head-to-head, it was even 4-4 when it comes to Team Fire versus Team Ice. So Todd LeDuc and Monster Energy could not compete in round 2. That gives the Black Pearl with Colvinar behind the wheel an opportunity against the oh-so-fast Cody Saucier in Monster Energy. The Black Pearl a little wide on the turn, and Monster Energy taking advantage, and Cody Saucier will now advance into the quarterfinal round. Well, that was Team Ice versus Team Ice. We now move on to our second matchup, Team Fire versus Team Fire. It is the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior Fire against Zombie Fire. So two incredibly resilient drivers in Bari Musauer and Bryce Kenny, and Zombie Fire off the line, down the chicane a little faster. Great Clips Mohawk Warrior working to get things done, and nice tight turn, but he gets the turn caught, and Zombie Fire at the end accelerating and taking the win, the closest race we've seen all weekend here.
Man, what a race. That was insane.
So another Ice versus Ice matchup we have yet to see in this round, Fire versus Ice. Either way, no matter who wins, Ice is moving on in this spot. It is John Zimmer and Dragon Ice, Cynthia Gauthier, Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice. They helped put these teams together at the All-Star Draft, and John Zimmer and Dragon Ice takes advantage of that turn and gets enough separation. He's moving on to round 3.
As they get down to the corner, hopefully it's still pretty even. Charlie with a slight edge.
And Scott Buteau getting up on the 2 wheels, crossing lanes. And Charlie Pauck and Gravedigger Fire with a big win. And down the chicane they come. Through Thunder Alley, Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger has won a world championship on this very track. And it's the ability to turn like that that got him to the top of the mountain. So another great win in Vegas for Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger. Adam Anderson coming into this weekend 24-9 in his career in Las Vegas. 3 Racing World Finals championships, and they both get a little wobbly coming around that turn, but Adam Anderson and Gravedigger able to reset, gets it straightened out, and he moves on to round 3.
Camden's gonna bring some speed down this. Locking up the brakes, you see a little glow from him. They're getting real hot now. To the finish line, tight one. Camden moves on to the next round.
They are both off the starting line, coming through Thunder Alley, down the chicane, hitting the brakes for Whiplash, and now for Max D as they round that final turn, and Max D with a big lead. So Team Ice represented very well as Neil Elliott moves on to round 3. Our 4 round 3 matchups are set, and this is what we came to see. It is fire versus ice in every matchup, including on the top side of that right bracket, Ryan Anderson versus Adam Anderson.
So Barry's got his hands full here, but Barry's in the lane that he likes. He likes the left lane. He continues to run over there, but Cody also had lane choice. He's running fast times. He's in the right, loves it. He's got the fast time coming into the corner, and just nice and easy for Cody Saucier to the finish line.
I think at this point he is locked in no matter what lane he picks. Another lightning fast time as Cody Saucier, Monster Energy, moving on to the semifinal round. It is John Zimmer and Dragon Ice, Charlie Pauken in Gravedigger Fire. So Pauken will try to even the odds in the semifinal round. These are 2 incredibly smart superstar driver athletes, and they're navigating a track they are very familiar with, but John Zimmer and Dragon Ice getting the edge in this round 3 matchup. The first overall pick in the draft against the second overall pick, and Anderson gets backwards, Adam Anderson that is, as Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger taking advantage, and another win over his brother in a rematch from last night. Same matchup, same result.
Neil had the chance to come back because Lindsay Reed couldn't make it because she blew a motor, so he's got a second chance at Camden Murphy.
It's hard enough to beat Neil Elliott and Max D once in a night. Now Camden Murphy trying to do it twice and get one for Team Fire. Neil Elliott again with some issues on that turn, and Camden Murphy in Bakugan Dragonoid avoids the clean sweep for Team Ice in this round, so he gets one back. And now we will move on to the semifinals of this Vegas-style racing. It was 3-1 that round in favor of Team Ice. And Team Fire looked to be the team that was built for racing, but the last 2 nights have been 7-1 Team Ice in the semifinals, and Cody Saucier continues it. What an amazing night for him. He has continued to get faster and faster, and Ryan Anderson 18-6 on this track coming into tonight, and he starts having a little problems getting wide. Can Bakugan take advantage of it? This is going to be close at the finish, and Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid, continuing his run. He will move on to the final round, and Morgan, we will get a Fire versus Ice final matchup.
And this is going to be a good one because these guys have the same style of racing. Cody looks like he was faster, so he's going to stay in the right lane. And lane choice is key here in Las Vegas because if you're comfortable in a lane, there's nothing worse than a driver throwing you in a lane that you don't like.
We mentioned coming into tonight, it was a 24-point lead for Team Ice. 24 and 23 are the points that are on the line. The winner, of course, getting 24. I know it's only a 1-point difference, but at this point, every single point is critical and crucial. And here they go off the starting line through Thunder Alley and down the chicane, and they are dead even in the J-hook. It is Monster Energy and Bakugan Dragonoid.
Whoa,
and
such
by
a
an
tight
edge,
one.
it looks like Cody Saucier and Monster Energy gonna get the win. That is 2 for 2 in racing for Team Ice.
And that's well-deserved from Cody Saucier and Monster Energy. I know he is pumped up right now. His dad's here. He's got his brother-in-law, which is Jeff Sin, his main mechanic. They're all psyched up right now because this is an important win for Team Ice.
I kind of went a little bit quiet. I was trying to fill my time. The score was not there. I did the backflip, filled my time, and it did not pay off. People did a 20-second run and had a huge score. So you know what? I'm just gonna go big each jump and just whatever happened, happened, but I'm not backing off.
Strong words from Cynthia Gauthier, Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice, and she sends it down Thunder Alley, and she is high above Sam Boyd Stadium. A spectacular landing, and she could have actually landed that perfectly, but the momentum carrying her over. But what a jump for Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice.
That was by far the biggest air of the night. possibly the biggest dare this year. That was massive. Full-on commitment from Monster Mutt Dalmatian Ice.
They both share the same last name. The Anderson brothers are up next. Right now, it is Adam Anderson and Gravedigger representing Team Fire.
It's always exciting when Adam Anderson and Gravedigger is out on the track. It makes me, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat right now because I know that he's got something to prove, and he's out here to gain valuable points for Team Fire. Big run at the triple.
And Adam Anderson and Gravedigger just missing, clearing the triple, bounces off, and clears the final buzz. His dad upstairs watching and scoring this run.
Keep it going, ride, ride, ride. Cut it, keep it going, keep it going. Big, big, big air, let's see what you got. Oh yeah, look, no, big moonwalk, high-speed moonwalk.
The high-speed moonwalk for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. He has 2 World Finals Freestyle Championships on this track, and a great jump for him, going clear across the buses, and he will try to get the save, and it doesn't happen for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger.
That's a hard hit for Adam. It looked like he peeled the knuckle on the front end, and man, how did this turn out?
The pure shock on Scott Bueto's face. We have a new leader. It is Adam Anderson and Gravedigger.
I mean, I'm all about a new leader because, you know, the last leader was 3 seconds in the air in a crash, but this one is totally off. I mean, Adam did a great job. He had good momentum, but I don't think it was enough for the lead. But you have our top 5 here. The top 2, kind of negotiable, but Tyler Meninga and Gravedigger had a great run, should still be the leader. But you have Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, for Team Ice, and he's coming out to burn it down just like Dennis said from the booth. This is what it's about. You have this guy, Ryan Anderson, son of a digger. He's one of the best in the sport, if not the best in the sport at this time, and he just carries so much momentum, always wide open. It's fantastic to watch, and honestly, as a driver, I learned so much from him.
Racing last night, giving his team 24 points, and there's a triple, a whip at the top for the 12,000-pound Monster Jam truck. Ryan Anderson, the first overall pick in the draft, going again for a container backflip, and now he's got a reverse, a moonwalk there. So how do you top that?
That's tough. He's carrying so much momentum, and he was talking about the way that he was going to hit the triple, and it was going to be different than everyone else, and he did exactly that, and it threw him past the triple. Looks like he might have caught the back tire on the top of the bus when he landed on the triple, and that's why he caught that tire.
Now we know that's not going to stop him from doing what he does as he continues to jump. Another nice whip at the top of the jump on 3 BKT tires. Ryan Anderson won a Freestyle World Championship here in 2018, and his dad, the legendary Dennis Anderson, is watching.
Get it on the wheels! Go, boy, go! Go, go, go! Burn it out!
Gotta keep this momentum going. Dennis is stoked right now. Everybody on Team Ice is jumping up and down. The track officials must have seen something because Ryan was gonna tear this truck in half, and that's the icing on the cake for Team Ice.
I don't know how he ended up continuing to go after that final landing on the jump he attempted, but wow, what a run for Ryan Anderson and son of a digger. There is a look at Team Ice watching and waiting for the score to come up. And there is your freestyle winner, Ryan Anderson and son of a digger, doing it again. Won a championship here, won freestyle back in March, and wins freestyle again tonight at the All-Star Challenge. Your freestyle point standings, Ryan Anderson getting 24, Adam Anderson 23, Cynthia Gauthier, who had the lead for most of the competition, drops to 3rd, Tyler Meninga and Gravedigger for Team Fire with 21, and then Colton Eichelberger in Max D also for Team Fire, rounding out your top 5. Every point matters. Let's take a look at the overall event point standings, where they win last night in racing and a freestyle win tonight. Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, 90 points. He is your overall event champion. Neil Elliott and Max D also for Team Ice in second, and Jim Kohler and Avenger for Team Fire rounding out your top 3. But 24 All-Stars came into Sam Boyd Stadium. It was about that team atmosphere, Team Fire versus Team Ice. But Ryan Anderson, some pride on the line, some bragging rights on the line, and Son of a Digger is your overall event champion.
So Ryan, tonight it looks like you did not finish the weekend outside of the top 5 in any competition here. Just phenomenal to take home so much hardware. Where do you find, the drive and the inspiration to keep going so hard all the time?
Like I just said, it's you guys, man, you fans. You guys want to see a crazy show, and that's what I'm made to do. But I want to ask you guys, please, we want to keep doing crazy events like this. We want you guys to come back. We want to do this again. We want you to tell your friends, your family, bring them out here and tell them how awesome Monster Jam is. Let them experience that experience. And I promise you one thing, I'm going to give it everything I got every time I'm on the track, because I want each and every single one of you guys to have a good time out here. Thank you again, and we wouldn't be nothing without you, man. I love you the most.
A very proud member of Team Ice, Ryan Anderson, son of a Digger, making it happen overall event championship. Monster Jam All-Star Challenge, Team Ice!
Well, it definitely came down to the draft. Scott Buteau, the captain of Team Ice, John Zimmer and Cynthia Gauthier, they got together, and then we had a great draft, and they did what they had to do to assemble this great team, and that's what it's all about. It's a team atmosphere all weekend at the Monster Jam All-Star event.
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.